So in recent weeks, we've been talking about long shots for the NHL or Hockey Hall of Fame. And this player, I think, has been forgotten not only because of his success for the Nordiques and his success in the WHA, but the fact was he was probably one of the smoothest players of his generation comparable to a Mike Gartner or Peter Stastny, a Steve Shutt. Now, Marc Tardif was big on the radar for the Montreal Canadiens for a number of years before he was drafted by Montreal. And eventually became a sniper with Montreal, had a great career with the WHA, came back to the NHL with the Nordiques, and had a kind of a third act to his career in the early 80s. Now, Joseph Gerard Marquis Tardif was born June 12, 1949. Probably, again, one of the best left wingers in pro hockey history. He's the all-time leading goal scorer in the WHA. Now, at 6 feet tall, about 200 pounds, not the biggest player on the ice, but his impact was extremely effective. Now, he was drafted second overall by the Habs in 1969 after a very strong career with Thetford Mines and the Montreal Junior Canadiens. Now, over 3 seasons, he was averaging close to a point and a half a game, scored nearly 100 goals in the regular season, and very strong results in the playoffs, especially in 1969 when he had 31 points in the Junior Canadiens' 14 games. Now, after a short stint with the Montreal Voyageurs in 1970, he eventually was called up to the big club in the spring of 1970, scoring 3 goals in 18 games. Now, his rookie season with Montreal, he had 49 points and was part of the 71 Cup that knocked off the Bruins, the Stars, and the Blackhawks. 71-72, 31 goals, 22 assists, 53 points. 1973, a second Cup, even 50 points on 25 goals and 25 assists. But after that last year in Montreal, Réjean Hull, J.C. Tremblay, a few of the Montreal Canadiens either had jumped or were planning to jump to the WHA. He moved on to the LA Sharks in 1973-74, getting 70 points, including 30 goals in 75 games. Now, his breakout year was 1975, of course. Started off with the Michigan Stags, went on to the Nordiques and scored 50 goals that year in combined 76 games. 75-76 was the great season for Mark. He almost broke Esposito's record for most professional goals in a season with 71 in an 81 game season with 148 points. 76-77 was a year of great success for the Nordiques. 76-77, he eventually helped the squad to an Avco title. Almost scored 50 goals. He had 49 that year. Now, 77-78 and 78-79 kept on with the great point production. In 1978, he notched 154 points to break Esposito's points record. And in 1979, had 96 points, including 55 assists. Now, his last 4 years with the Nordiques included a number more great success because he knocked off Montreal in 82, was a team captain, and scored successive years of 33, 23, 39, and 21 goals. Now, his final totals, he scored 510 regular season goals in less than 1,000 games, with 40 games in the playoffs. But Tardif's big controversy, of course, because after he signed with the Sharks and had that great career, and he also played in the Summit Series, he had, like I said, a really tough go of it. In the 75-76 season, his playoffs were cut short after he incurred a very serious head injury, an attack by Calgary Cowboys enforcer Rick Giudizzo, and it was also one of the first cases where a hockey player was charged in a court of law for assault. The only reason Tardif assailant didn't serve pure jail time is because he did recover. And the next year, of course, when Tardif was made captain of Nordiques, he showed everybody that Montreal and maybe the NHL gave up on him, and he was, a preeminent star that needed to shine in the open system of the WHA. Now, he could have easily scored 400 goals in the NHL by himself. He would have stayed. But you got to understand the WHA, and his totals are just impressive. 446 games, 316 goals, 666 assists. And every game he played, it was a preamble to watching the Stastnys play with the Nordiques, because he was like the Stastny brothers in a way. He was effective around the crease, effective on the power play. Again, hard to say a person scoring 510 goals in the NHL WHA is underrated, but most NHL media or NHL historians very rarely mention Marc Tardif, because when Réjean Houle went to the WHA, he scored 50 goals, but when he came back, Houle was ineffective. Tardif coming back, and he was 10 years past his prime when he didn't come back to the NHL. He was still as effective. And don't forget, the early years of the Nordiques, he didn't have two lines to play with. He didn't have the Stastnys at the start of his 1980 campaign. I know he had Buddy Cloutier and Jacques Richard and some other key players, but Tardif was pretty well on his own. And he would get a lot of what you call defensive players trying to stop him. But I always wondered if Tardif should have went back to the Montreal Canadiens when Réjean Houle went back. I would love to see Lafleur, Schutt, and Tardif on the same line, but woulda, shoulda, coulda. He was very happy in Quebec. Again, Jacques Demers once said it was one of the easiest players he ever had to coach, because he just had that way around the net. And I do think he deserves the Hall of Fame. If Vaclav Nedominski can make it, and Guy Carbonneau and other people of that era that made a difference, I think Tardif will eventually make the Hall of Fame, and I think he deserves it. So, when it's COVID Thursday, we wish everybody enjoyment out there. Be careful. It's going to be high humidity the next few days. Water up. If you like what I'm doing here, give a like, subscribe, or a comment. If you don't like it, just don't do anything. Have a good day. Bye.